Corpse Bride is one of Tim Burton's masterpieces, but something feels off about it. I don't mean because of the bleakness or the literal corpse following a guy around. Something is more sinister lurking beneath the surface. That ominous feeling comes from Emily herself. What really sets her free at the end? Is it the act of true love or a little hint of revenge? Let's take a closer look, shall we? Let's start with the song that explains Emily's tragic backstory. Her life was sadly taken from her by the man she thought she loved, destined to live out her undead life waiting for her true love to come set her free from this jazz cafe of sorts.
You like jazz?
Honestly, it doesn't sound too bad. After dying, Emily made a vow.
That she'd wait for her true love to come set her free.
This is where things start to get a little weird. Who is Emily's true love? Victor seems like the simple answer. He gladly gives up his life to marry Emily and spends the rest of eternity by her side. It seems nice and sweet and innocent. However, if they did get married, then she wouldn't have exploded into a bunch of butterflies or moths or whatever. If Victor and Emily went through with it, she would have turned into, what's that phrase?
Ball and chain.
Planned to say it gentler, but yeah.
Still living out her days in the undead jazz cafe. Again, does not seem too bad. Unless they play the same song over and over again. That sounds like torture. I'm not doing that. If she marries Victor, she'll still be a caged bird. He's not leaving the jazz cafe anytime soon. He's in love with Veronica, who's already married. Despite what Emily says, she quite literally is the other woman. That would mean that her vow isn't about him. It's directed towards her other betrothed, the one that disposed of her and ran away with her family's jewels. That is a heck of a betrayal there, which would leave anyone with a broken heart and questioning if they can ever love again. This is indeed what happens.
Yet it seems that I still have some tears to shed.
Emily is a bride full of despair. In this moment, she is not in the right headspace to have a long-term relationship. In a weird way, Victor's kind of the rebound guy. Even if she does love him, he still tricks her into going into the land of the living. Shame on you, Victor. You're a married man. Which also makes me question, how will they have a honeymoon? All that love that Emily might have been feeling boils into jealousy and rage. The same type of feeling she felt when she woke up in the land of the dead. Minus the shock. I feel like if you're getting betrayed like that, there's definitely some shock involved as well. The love is gone, replaced with something darker. Spite and anger are what keep her in limbo, waiting for the day she can take revenge on the man that put her there. This actually kind of makes me question Emily's family. Like, did they not notice she was missing for a couple of days? Or was the family just like, oh dear, looks like Emily's away. Jennifer, you're next in line to be betrothed. Or maybe Emily was the oldest, so that means none of the other sisters could get married. Like Jane Austen's novel Pride and Prejudice. A scandal. Now, with all that anger, Emily is similar to Batman. She is vengeance. She is the night. She is Corpse Bride. I'm a little sleep deprived at this moment in time, not gonna lie. Now, this means that she can't rest until she's avenged in some way. However, she can't just simply haunt her prior fiance for the rest of his life, which I will admit sounds like a lot of fun. I want to know, if you were a ghost, would you haunt people? Let me know in the comments. Emily is rooted, no pun intended, to the tree she died by, stuck by the brush where the betrayal happened because it's the most emotionally charged area that tethers her to this plane of existence. Until Victor comes along and she attaches herself to him, or the wedding ring, makes honestly no difference. Staying close to the emotionally charged area mirrors specters from the Witcher 3 video game, the Wraith. Yeah, I know, they kind of look a little gnarly. Those tongues sticking out, they kind of remind me of that guy from Kiss, which I can't remember what his name is. Anytime I think about Kiss, I think about the weird guest star appearances that they had in Scooby-Doo and the Fairly Odd Parents. So there's that nugget of information if you wanted to know that. As you play through the game, the protagonist, Geralt of Rivia, goes against these angry ghosts. They're stuck in certain locations, whether it's a tree, a well, a lighthouse, whatever. You can attack them as many times as you want, but they are not going anywhere until Geralt does a ritual to get rid of them. Now, in one particular side quest, a tower full of mice, a woman named Annabelle died an unfortunate death. Now she's a specter haunting the very lands where she was left for dead. And in this ghostly state, she's more than a restless specter. She's a pesta. Not pasta, pesta. Well, Geralt, I feel like it's easier if you explain it.
More than a restless ghost, a plague maiden, a powerful wraith filled with grief and hatred that drive her, give her the power to sow disease and death.
Doesn't that sound a little bit like our dear friend Emily? Okay, maybe not the death and disease part, but everything else fits like a glove. Both specters are filled with unearthly rage for being abandoned by their one true love. After death, they feel battered and broken from what their significant other did, ruining the day that they ever see that person again, so they can take their revenge on them. Depending on what the player chooses, Annabelle can have her anger guide her to getting revenge on her ex-boyfriend. Or there's another option, which I won't really spoil because, I feel like everyone should play this game at least once. It's honestly one of my faves. So is Emily a pesta? I'm gonna have to say no. I don't think there's enough evidence to say so for sure. However, she is still at the very least a restless wraith who needs two key things: a ritual in order to pass on, which could very easily be Victor and her wedding. This lets her understand that not all men are as bad as her previous partner. The other was to destroy the one person who put her 7 feet under in the first place, Lord Barkis. The look on Emily's face hammers home the emotion she feels. It goes from recognizing him turning into anger, making her motivation to seeing this man meet his end all the greater. Can we talk about this man for a second? Because I don't understand him whatsoever. His motivation is money, right? Why is he robbing the same family twice? Even if this isn't the same family, it's still the same town. So unless this man is Jack the Ripper or something, I think he should be able to remember the town and the families in said town. Honestly, this man really needs some pointers from Debbie from Addams Family Values. Like, I know she lost, but she was pretty crafty, okay? Lord Barkis is what keeps Emily's spite alive. Seeing this stupid man steal the hearts and riches of young girls around him is maddening, and Emily knows all too well of his trickery. Finally, she wakes up from the fog she's been in for years. Before lying eyes upon Lord Barkis, she thought that being loved once again would melt her frozen heart, taking away the emotional pain that's been crippling her since the last night she was alive. Pain was never going to disappear until the man who betrayed her met his demise. Fortunately for her, this man is an idiot who does not read labels before drinking wine, meeting his demise by his own ignorance. He might be in line to be one of the dumbest antagonists. Props to you. You really put a lot of villains to shame here, man. Brings me to another random question. All the undead characters, go after him at the end, right? But, what do they do? He is undead. They're undead. So he physically can't feel pain anymore. He could feel emotional pain, but I also feel like this man doesn't have a heart. The only thing that I can really think of is that they have to play, the same jazz song over and over and over again until he cries or something. I don't know. I'm just not satisfied with this man's demise, okay? Now, with Lord Barkis out of the way, Emily's act of revenge is finally done. An eye for an eye. All the spite and emotional trauma she's been feeling melts away, letting Emily finally embrace the act of true love once again. One could say she goes through a little metamorphosis. She was trapped in a little cocoon, only able to break free when her pain was no longer consuming her, letting her fly free like the beautiful butterfly she is. But hey, that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think of Corpse Bride in the comments down below. Also, do you want me to do more videos on Tim Burton-y films? Click right here. If you want to see another spooky video like this one, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye.